Hey everyone, so for those of you who don't know, the iPhone 4.0 preview event just wrapped up. And this is probably not going to be the most organized video because I wanted to get it out to you rather quickly, but I'm going to cover some of the things that were covered in the press event. The first big thing about iPhone 4.0 is multitasking. We can finally multitask, and it has an interface just like a dock at the bottom where you can swipe. It's very, very clean. From what I can tell, I haven't seen it in action, obviously, but it works for everything, for apps, for things like VoIP and Skype calls. I mean, it's just, and they say that they've figured out a way that it's not going to affect your battery life. Of course, you can't really trust the claims unless you use it yourself, but I guess to be determined. The next big thing was the Mail app, in my opinion. And the Mail app has a few things. There's threaded inbox, finally, for replying to messages and that sort of thing, but also, if you have multiple accounts, it's a universal inbox. Finally, it's a universal inbox. This is something that I personally use multiple inboxes on my iPhone on an everyday basis, and this is something that I need. The next big thing that I had never even thought about was folders. Folders is something that I guess groups apps together and has a smart naming system and allows you to put more apps on the phone in an organized fashion. I believe you can keep 9 apps in a folder at a time, and it's a very good way to keep things organized. Next, we have the iBooks Center. Yes, iBooks is coming to the iPhone, so all of the things in iTunes 9 for the iPad, the iBooks app, is now fully iPhone compatible. If you buy apps on the iPad, you should be able to use it on the iPhone as well. And of course, you get your free Winnie the Pooh. Next is something called Game Center, which I have to say I fully don't really understand, but to my understanding, it takes the games that you have on your iPhone and localizes them and has leaderboards and things of that nature, and sort of makes it a much more compelling gaming device for things like the Sony PSP and the Nintendo DS. And the biggest thing, in my opinion, was the iAd integration. Now, I'm not going to go on forever, but if you have been following Apple and the whole Google thing, you know that Google bought something and then Apple was going to buy it, and then they bought their own advertising, and they've come up with the best in-app advertising of any company I have ever seen. It's going to be interactive. They're limiting it to 10 apps, or 10 ads a day, sorry, and it is going to generate 1 billion impressions a day for companies that are advertising. And basically, there's a lot that this does for the consumer, but it's either going to make much better free apps because people are going to be more compelled to make free apps now that there's advertising, or it's just going to make the overall experience of using apps better because if advertising is done right, it can actually enhance your user experience. So those are the major points of iPhone 4.0. We have a new interface as well. You can finally put wallpapers on each screen. It looks very nice. But one thing I didn't see an improvement on was the locking screen and the information display. But I guess you can't get it all. We'll see how it goes. Also, there was no mention of new hardware, but I'm expecting that in the next couple of months, definitely. So we'll see about that as well. Overall, I would say it's a great announcement. It offers a lot of things that iPhone users have been requesting for years. And also, it is coming to the iPad as well, but not until the fall, which I don't quite understand. But there it is. There's a brief, very shallow summary of iPhone 4.0, and I hope you all enjoy it. If you want to look for the Apple keynote, it should be up around 6 p.m. Eastern Time. and I will include the link down below, not in the sidebar. Okay, have a good day, everyone.